All right, Campers In team, this is your November update. Recording this on Halloween, and I know I missed September, so there's a bunch to go over because a lot's been happening in the company. So things we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about awards and recognitions. We're going to talk about how the company's been doing. We're going to talk about the Lazy Days acquisition because I didn't get to do that last month. And then we're going to talk about some branding pieces for the company. So let's jump right in. So awards and recognitions piece, there's actually a bunch of things to talk about here. So some of you may know that there's a organization in the industry called the RV Women's Alliance. The RV Women's Alliance is a support network for women in the industry, women that have dedicated or have a career in the RV industry. Each year they have an annual event and they ask for nominations for a few different awards. Then they pick finalists, and then from those finalists they pick award winners. So as a company, a bunch of the managers, we put together a lot of nomination packets, but here were the finalists that they picked. So I'll go the finalists and then I'll talk about the award winners. So we had several finalists in every we had at least one finalist in every category. So our finalist for the Trailblazer Award for Lifetime Achievement was Jennifer Craig, our controller. Then the Champion of Women Award, we had two people that made the finalists. Megan Neighbors in marketing and Destiny Tolliver in inventory. And then from the Leader of Tomorrow, we had two people as well make the finalists there. That was Devin Cady in Merrimack and Whitney Zaborski in the BI team. And then Campers In as a whole also was nominated, or made the finalist, was made to be a finalist of the Champion of Women Award. So then at the event, we actually had two that went from finalists to the awardees. So our awardees were for the Leader of Tomorrow, Devin Cady from Merrimack, production manager. She actually was the awardee for the Leader of Tomorrow, so huge congrats to Devin. And then on the Champion of Women Award for the company, Campers In as a whole was awarded. And we are the first RV dealer to ever receive that award. So it's a huge honor. Jeff and I are very humbled by it because we want Campers In and we strive to make Campers In a place where no matter what your background is, you can succeed, you can grow here. And so this was a recognition that was really important to not just the people that went to that event, but to us as well, because it's what we do strive to make Campers In. But that's not it. We got more awards. So coming up here in a couple weeks is RVDA. So we have some previews of awards that are going to be handed out there. So one award that's going to be handed out at RVDA is the 40 Under 40 Award. This is one we put people in for every year. And Ronitha Mormon from our marketing team is actually going to be, or she is one of the 40 Under 40 for 2025 for the RV industry. So she'll be receiving that award at RVDA. So huge congrats to her. And then also as a company, we're going to be receiving the Top 50 Award again. So Top 50 RV Dealer Award again, which is really cool. I think we've received it every year other than maybe once, and it was a long time ago. So we've been one of the most awarded top 50 dealers out there, so that's really cool. And then another one that's kind of special to us, near and dear to our hearts, is Care Camps is actually giving us an award. There's a luncheon there where they spotlight, a bunch of different things. So Campers In's getting an award at the Spotlight on Excellence luncheon because we've donated over the last 5 years combined, we've donated $1 million total. Right, so that's between, what the employees have donated, the Campers In match on that. Some of our events like the Pie in the Face contest last year, Step Up for Care Camps, and the gala that we held about 5 years ago. Those of you that don't know about Care Camps, this is something that's pretty cool to us. We think it aligns really well with what we want to do as a company. So these kids that are going through cancer or that have cancer, they're going through cancer treatment, it provides them the ability to get away and go to a camp experience, be with others that are like them, but have the specialty treatments, the medical treatments on site, because obviously they have a higher level of care and need. So for us to have collectively, and by us I truly mean all of us, the employees that donate, Camp Presents match, the different contests, the gala. We've been able to raise over $1 million in 5 years from really not doing anything with them prior is awesome. And it's really kind of a great thing. If you aren't aware, it's something you can elect actually as a benefit on ADP. So if you want to donate $1 bi-weekly, you want to donate more, just know Camp Present matches that. So it's been something really good for us to give back. Yeah, so, and there probably will be some more recognitions at RVDA. I'll talk about those next time, because I think there's going to be a couple more recognitions that happen when we're out there. Some things about the company, what's been going on. I didn't do a video in September. Now it's the very end of October. So here's what's going on in the company. So kind of the market continues. So I talked about this before. What's the overall industry looking like? The overall industry, I said it kind of feels like it's bouncing around. Like we had some months this year, for example, on the towable side that was slightly down year over year from all of the dealers combined. And then there was a couple months where it was up. We're still seeing it like bounce around. So it seems like it's close-ish to same year over year, slightly down, maybe if you include some of the earlier months, but there were some months that were up year over year on the towable side. Motorized has been a little bit softer, but really the message is that it's we're bouncing around the bottom, right? Is what it feels like. At some point, this kind of starts recovering. We could throw all the reasons why it should recover, from interest rates to gas prices, but then you got inflation on the other side. But anyway, it kind of feels like it's bouncing around there. But how have we been doing as Camp Present? We continue to be up year over year. So we look at things like our number of units that are sold, and we're up year over year. We look at our service gross profit that we're generating, and it's up year over year. So our team continues to perform well. And why? We think it's because, one, we have a winning culture, right? We really think it's important to make sure that we have that winning attitude, coming to work, ready to go. And also a good culture where people feel like they can actually win together here at work. But then it's also because we focus on those basic processes. So the 80-20 activities that we talk to the managers about, whether it's part service, sales, finance, doesn't matter. Those 80-20 activities. Some of the basic activities that we make sure we do every day, which is a black box meeting, daily training, the work in process meeting, all the stuff, all the things that make a winning team come together. It's not always about the culture, fun, rah-rah stuff, and that is fun, but it's also about what do we do on a day-to-day basis to get it going, and we're taking share because of it. So then the last thing that I didn't talk about last month was the Lazy Days acquisition. So this has been something that Jeff and I have been working on for at least 2 years. Now, not in the current form, not in how it all came together. There were different iterations of this, but we've been negotiating on it very quietly behind the scenes, trying to not be super public about these sorts of things. But it obviously was announced a little bit over a month ago, and we're acquiring basically the remaining assets of Lazy Days. So we're not taking over every store, but we are taking over quite a few. So I'll walk through kind of the structure and how it'll impact us. So first off, we're going to be assuming in the Knoxville market, there's both Airstream and traditional RVs sold in that market. So we're assuming the Knoxville market. There's also the store up in Denver. It's called Johnstown. It's north of Denver, but up in that area in Colorado. We're also taking over the store in Tucson, Arizona. We're taking over a store in St. George, Utah. We're taking over a store in Wilmington, Ohio, and then also in Ramsey, Minnesota. And that Ramsey one will be a side-by-side with Airstream and traditional sales. And then also Tampa, Florida. So quite a few. This has been a big project we've been working on, which is the reason why I didn't do the video last month, was because a whole bunch of your leadership was on the road constantly, just visiting the stores, doing due diligence, offering pay plans to people, just all the things that have to happen for an acquisition, and it's substantially larger than anything we've ever done. So it's just taken some time. One of the stores that we've been asked a lot about is, are we going to take over the Lazy Day store in Wildwood, Florida, which is like near Ocala. And yes, we're in talks with the landlord, but nothing's come through yet. So being transparent, nothing's like finalized there yet. So that's why it's not on that other list. So what does this mean? What does this do for us? Well, all the stores, Knoxville, the one up in Colorado, Tucson, St. George, Utah, Wilmington, Ramsey, they're all going to flip to Campers Inn brands, right? So they'll become Campers Inn RV. The couple that have Airstream, they'll still have the Airstream of wherever it is, right? So they'll stay that way, but they'll flip to Campers Inn RV. So like most of our acquisitions have been, and just really help us on the branding nationally, because it gives us a lot larger presence in all these markets. They have great brands in these stores, and we know we can win with them. In Tampa, we're actually going to leave that as Lazy Days powered by Campers Inn RV. So why? So some of you that are around the industry a long time probably know some of the things about that Lazy Days dealership in Tampa. But those of you that don't, I'll just describe it. So this is a dealership that outside of this year, which has been a real tough year for that company, that store traditionally would sell, I mean, bad years, 2,500 RVs, right? So just a lot of RVs. 300 site campground, over 200 service bays, 120 something acres there. They have a Crown Club, which is like a exclusive sort of club for high-end customers, a restaurant, just truly like an experience destination. So if you're ever traveling in the area, I actually recommend you stop in, because you'll see it's it used to be known as like the Disney World of RVs is kind of what it was. So that one, because of that, we're going to leave that name. It's still a Campers Inn company, right? Powered by Campers Inn, but we're leaving it because it truly is like a destination that is very different than anything else in the RV industry. Nobody's ever been able to duplicate it. So by having that name there, it associates with some of that nostalgia for a lot of the customers that know about it. That's the reasoning behind it. But also, when we looked at the west side, so think of Denver, Colorado, Tucson, Arizona, and St. George, Utah, we said, well, those stores need to become Campers Inn because of Lazy Days' financial struggles. You know, we're trying to separate from some of that brand name across the country. Campers Inn has a really great brand name recognition. But we also said it doesn't make sense for us to have different brands out west. So in 2026, we'll be also rebranding the Little Dealer, Little Prices stores over to Campers Inn as well. So we'll actually have 6 Campers Inn flags in the 3 current Little Dealer stores, and then the 3 Lazy Days stores out west. So doing that for consistency, just trying to make sure that we have as much consistency as possible. And we're doing better at it, right? So those of you that don't know, Dylan's RV became a Campers Inn store as well this year. Trying to distinguish some of our motorhome only, because it's a motorhome only store, so we distinguish it a little bit with the branding, but trying to still have that Campers Inn side of it and really get our name to be the national name as much as possible. So overall, we're pretty excited about it. This is a lot of work. The benefits for our team are that as we continue to grow, there continues to be opportunities for us, right? Many of you have heard Jeff or myself or others talk about how we're proud to be a family-owned and operated dealership. And to this point, we have not ever, and I mean now, so we've never taken a dollar of outside money. I mean, yeah, we have banks, right, that'll do loans and whatnot, but we're not private equity backed. We're not, we don't have any public shareholders or anything like that. So we think we can do it better, honestly. We think with you guys, our teammates, that we do a better job. We think that we're employees first. That is how we've grown. And we think we can win in these stores by having that employees first mentality, come in with a winning culture, really try to, let them know what Campers Inn's all about, feel it, but then instill some of our processes and really get back to doing what they did, because it wasn't many years ago that most of these dealerships I just mentioned, actually all these dealerships I just mentioned, were cranking. They were doing really good. And I'm not even talking about COVID. A lot of these dealerships were doing great prior to COVID. So we need to get that winning culture back and help them out and continue to spread what Campers Inn's all about. But it's good for you because once again, we get to continue to be relevant. If you're not growing, the challenges in this environment, you're probably not becoming relevant because we are dealing with a consolidating environment in our industry where your ability to negotiate with manufacturers or banks or vendors or whatever is predicated on your size. And whether that's right or wrong, it is what it is. And so by us continuing to grow and continuing to be extremely relevant, we can continue to be a great employer for our teammates and have good opportunities for them to grow, or if they love the job they're in, continue to provide good jobs for the long term. So that's where our head's at there. And we also have a great team coming together. So some of the Lazy Days teammates, at the stores, it's pretty much unchanged. But above the store level, we've been working with some of their teammates to onboard some really great people. Quite frankly, we've been recruiting outside of that as well, and we're excited. We have some really, really great teams coming together. I'll be announcing that a little bit closer to after we close, after the acquisition. We'll talk about some of the structure stuff. If for most of you, not a whole lot of changes, but at least so you know kind of what's going on with the Lazy Days, who falls under what stores, that sort of thing. So, because there will be some movement there with this many additional stores coming into the fold. So anyway, so I think that's about it. So I hope we have a great November and a continuing to beat the market, do really good. We're going to receive a lot of recognitions this month at RVDA and some other things. And also, this should be the month that we are closing on the Lazy Days acquisition. Should be happening. It's staggered, starting around November 17th, all the way through Thanksgiving, and could get pushed out to December 1st. But that's basically when it's going. So there's a lot going on this month, and we'll just keep on rocking and rolling. So appreciate y'all. Thanks.